host, Shelly Shenanigans, and I am so happy to see y'all. How are y'all doing? How's y'all week going? If you are here, if you are seeing my face right now, and you want to see my face again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video because I know you're going to like my content. So you might as well just go and like it right now. Period. Today, you guys, I'm bringing y'all something so special and exciting. Like, I am so excited to be doing this today. We will be interviewing Will Cherry, Bet on Cherry, because his music, I heard it. I heard the album before it was released, baby. You're not going to be disappointed. I know you're not. He's a phenomenal artist. I'm so delighted to introduce you guys to him. Y'all, he's what is he? A producer. He's a director. He's a engineer. He mixes. He can sing. Period. He's a model. No, I'm just kidding. But he could be. I'm excited to talk to him, you guys. We're going to just be discussing, his new song, PSA. We're going to be discussing the visual, which I helped to bring to life. Being on set that day was amazing. Amazing. So I'm so excited for you guys to meet him. So we're going to get into our interview. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope y'all enjoy the conversation. It's going to be so interesting. So thank you guys for joining me. Yo, I'm so excited to be here with you today. I'm so excited to be interviewing you right now. Oh my goodness, I already hyped you up to the Shenanigoons. They're so excited to meet you. I'm so excited to interview you. Let's get it going. So I want to start out with an icebreaker. So we're going to play, have you ever played Two Truths and a Lie before?
I have not. No.
Okay, so basically you have to tell me two truths and a lie and I have to guess what the lie is.
Okay.
Ready?
Sure, yeah. I used to have braces. I don't have any siblings. And I'm trying to think. I just learned how to drive last year. Yeah.
Okay. I know which one is the lie. I know for a fact that you didn't learn how to drive last year because a couple years ago, the first time we ever encountered each other was at the Ilty store and you told me you drove there. So I know that's not the lie. And I'm going to guess that you definitely did have braces because, having braces is like something that everybody had, and I'm sad that I missed out on the opportunity to get braces. So I'm going to say that the lie is that you don't have any siblings.
Yeah, I have two sisters.
How is that? How is having two sisters? How is being an only boy, I would say?
It was pretty cool. It was normal, I guess.
That's good. Okay,
yeah.
So basically, I just want we're going to start off by just introduce yourself to the Shenanigoons. Introduce yourself. What do you want people to know about you?
My name is Will Cherry. I'm 23 years old. I'm freshly 23 years old. I'm an artist. I produce my music. I mix my music, write and everything like that. I'm a video director. Yeah, I just recently released my first song, PSA. It's a video as well that I directed. And I have more coming very soon, imminently, like in the next couple months. A lot of new music coming.
Yes, sir. Yeah. When I was talking about you to them, I told them that you are a writer, you're a director, you mix, you produce. I told them all that stuff. I was like, yes. I told them, y'all bet on Cherry. I told them. So you said you're freshly 23. How long have you been making music? Because based on how PSA sounds, the lyricalness, it don't sound like that's your first song ever.
Yeah, it's not literally my first song. I've been making music since I was like 12 years old. When I was 12, me and my best friend Mandel, we started writing songs and writing screenplays. Actually, before we wrote any songs, we started writing screenplays and ideas for television shows and stuff like that. Then we started making music, and that was sort of what I really veered into more so. So I've been making music since then, and I've put some things out. There's some stuff on SoundCloud, but for the last few years, I've really been focusing on these 10 songs that will be my album. So that's why I wanted just to start fresh with PSA.
Start fresh with PSA. And I know that PSA wasn't going to be your first single, like, released. So you can tell me about how you got there. Like, how did PSA even come about?
Yeah, well, yeah, PSA didn't exist a couple months ago. I was planning to put out this song called Death Proof, which I think by the time this interview is released, that song will probably be out, which is like my single that we've been working on. I started the song in 2017. So that's a song that has always been like, this is going to be the first song. And just the way things have been going in the world, like, it just made sense that before I go with a song that feels fun or feels light, I want to at least like speak my piece and put my perspective out there first. And that was PSA. And I didn't want to like overthink it or make it kind of corny by trying to force it. And literally it just came to me, like it fell on my lap, literally, like sitting on the edge of my bed, just the lyrics just like flowed out of me. And then the idea for the video just flowed out of me and everything. Yeah. So that's what I went with first.
Yeah. PSA, that song is so powerful. Like, I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is everything we needed to hear. But before we start talking about PSA more, I want to get into the fact that you said you have some songs on SoundCloud, because I remember the first time I ever saw your name, and it was you produced a song called IMX by one of my favorite evers. I call him my grandpa, Tay Miles. I love Tay Miles. That everybody that knows Tay loves Tay. If you know Tay, you love him. But that was my first time ever seeing your name, and I was like, who is this? And that's how we found each other on Instagram. Will C. This was before you were Will Cherry.
Yeah.
So how did we get Will Cherry? Where did Will Cherry come from?
Cherry is just a great word. I wanted the C to be a word, and I endlessly searched for hours to try to find the word, and cherry was the ultimate word. So cherry is the word.
Cherry's the word. Now, cherry's fun. Cherry, when you think of cherries, you think of fun, summer. It's just a good vibe when you think of cherry. But I do want to go back to PSA now. So you said the song came about effortlessly, and the video came about effortlessly. It just came to you. And I just want to talk about how I was able to help you out on set. That was still one of the best experiences I had. That was my first time ever helping out with a music video specifically. I had worked on other productions before, but that was my first music video. Yeah. And I just loved it. And I just am so happy that I had the honor and privilege to be able to assist on that, super important project.
Well, thank you for helping.
Absolutely. Sure. It was my pleasure, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Thank you.
So right now, I kind of wanted to get into the lyrics of PSA because, I want people to hear the song, but I also want to hear, I want people to know, like, yes, we will have fun on this channel. This channel will be a fun channel. We're going to have a great time. But I also want people to be aware, like, there's a lot going on in the world, and, just awareness, like I said, awareness for all of the craziness. And I think the first line of PSA just starts that out perfectly. Like, the first line, my right to live isn't politics. Like, that line right there, it's like, bruh, why is ending racism such a debate? Like, why is this a debate as to why police officers shouldn't be just mercilessly killing us, the people that look like us.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
That's one of the only lines that I would say I for sure actively thought about when I was writing the song, because it's the first line. And I think maybe subconsciously I put that first just to set the tone that this is not a negotiation. Like, this song is not me trying to appeal to anybody to try to understand me. It's like very black and white, so to speak.
So definitely black and white for sure. My right to live is in politics. I find it interesting my struggle wasn't obvious. Now that line, I could say so much about that line.
Yeah.
My first thought though for sure is, Black people, even from the beginning of us coming to America, has been a struggle. So why would you assume it's anything different when nothing has changed?
Yeah, it's also sort of saying, why is this news to you? Why is this something that you like, something that wasn't already obvious, I guess. Yeah.
Right. My struggle, I find it interesting. My struggle wasn't obvious. Affirmative action to open up the scholarships. First off, I just want to define affirmative for anyone who may be watching this who doesn't know what affirmative action is. The practice of favoring individuals belonging to groups known to have been discriminated against previously. So, colored people.
Yeah. People
of color have always had the short end of the stick. So affirmative action was created so that we will be able to have something. So, schooling and is one of the biggest, ways to get ahead. Education.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I just want to say that the reason why I mentioned that and why I talked about like the no pot to piss and we're supposed to be happy because a rapper made it. The whole point of that is to basically say exceptionism and exceptionalism being like the very special, very smart, very talented Black person should not be what's required for you to be successful or to survive. Yeah. And that affirmative action and stuff like that is kind of performative if it's not a natural thing.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. So the next line after no pot to piss in, but we supposed to think it's fair because a rapper made it. Man, I hate it that we had to fight to be emancipated. Baby.
Yeah.
What? We had to, every little thing that we had to fight for it. From the very beginning, every little thing. We have to fight for it. And we don't get handed anything. We don't get any type of special privileges. We don't get any type of extra help. And like you said, and when we do, it's performative. You have to start a whole thing, which is, the affirmative action, just to be able to give us something that we should have already had, which is
exactly, yeah.
It's really sad, and this world really needs to have a complete overhaul change. Like every part of the system needs to be switched. We need like a complete 180 because it's just, honey, it ain't.
I'm of the belief that there doesn't need to be a system.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
This is slavery rebranded. Now the shackles changing. I just think about how they're forcing people into the prisons to work for no money, and they're wrongly imprisoning people so that people can, do slave labor. That's what I think of when I first hear it.
Yeah, you definitely caught it, because it's definitely because they literally put them in shackles on their arms and their feet. It's literally
to do slave labor. To do slave labor. They get no money. Yeah. You're wrongly in prison. You get no money. It's just they found a way to make slavery legal. We all know it's not legal, but just, you know, going through what we're going through now, trying to change things, trying to create some type of reform. It's really stressful, but I love that your first song coming out the woodwork, not the woodworks, coming out the blue, like, yes, this is how I feel. This is not right, and I'm gonna spread awareness. I'm gonna use my platform to spread awareness that this is not right. This is not good. This is not okay. But it shouldn't matter if I was trapping or I graduated. And even if you commit a crime, and I hate when I'm on Instagram, Twitter, people talking about, but he did this. Okay, just because you commit a crime doesn't mean you should be killed. And then what about the white people who be whole murdering people, shooting up schools, and you get brought in normally?
Yeah. Yeah.
Help me understand. Help me understand how this makes sense.
It doesn't at all.
It doesn't at all. You're never going to make it make sense. Nobody's going to make it make sense because it doesn't. The whole system needs to be. We need something. Some got to give, baby. Some got to give, because this is not it.
And that's why I wanted to put that line in specifically, because there's a lot of things that I feel like we sometimes internalize and repeat that works against us, like the theory, or not the theory, but like the angle of when something happens to a black person, we start looking at all the good stuff they did as a reason to be sad for why it happened to them. But if they didn't deserve it, they didn't deserve it, no matter where they came from or what they did. And I wanted to say that, you know, purposely, to just put that in people's minds that, you know, breaking the law in any way is not a death sentence.
Correct.
So it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I agree. Everything you said in this song, I fully agree with. And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I feel like more people need to hear this song. People need to wake up and see that, you know, there are a lot of people that I personally see online who somewhat defend the cops killing people, and it's like, no, that's not it at all. And then in the very next line, you say, I had to take it to the heart that I could follow all the laws, wear my seatbelt, check my license tags that's on the car, stop at the signs, know my rights, and never travel far. These things that you listed, wear my seatbelt, check my life, these are the things that they would immediately pull you over for, and then, you know, find something else, or find a reason to pull you out of the car, find a reason to search the car, find a reason to, you know, do something that's not called for. So I like that you put that in there. Like, even if we do all the things right, you still die because the cop is afraid of who you are.
It's still not enough.
It's never going to be enough until, like you said, the system wipe it clean. Get a new one. Let's get a new one. Can we go to the store and buy a new system? No. Like, no, for real. Like, and that's how I feel. Like, you know, we still die because the cops are afraid of who. Like, like, you really said everything, like, just perfectly. Media bias treating us as a target, even though we feeding them. If we leave them, they will be starving.
I didn't think about that when I was writing it. Like, that was a part that just came out of me, but I feel like that was important to say, because we see on Twitter, like, every day, people are starting to notice it and point it out. The differences in the headline compared to the picture that's used for the headline, how it's usually, you know, it works against black people, but at the same time, black people fuel all the trends on social media. Black people are the sort of the voice and the lifeblood of media at large. So it's just interesting to me how they actively work against us, but we actively give them everything.
We give them so much inspiration, like just talking about, you know, cultural appropriation. They love to take every little thing that we do, they love to take it and make it seem like it's theirs.
Yeah.
Love to take it and make it seem like it's theirs. But as soon as somebody says something about it, they're mad. They're talking about, no, I didn't get this from you, like, honey. And we see it all the time. Like you said in the headlines, when, you know, white people commit crimes of rape and murder, they say, oh, he was a 17-year-old child. Oh, he had a bright future. Oh, if a black person do something, oh, he robbed a bank when he was 5. Like, what? Yeah. Where did you get this information from? Where did it come from? And why is that even a part of the story at all? Like,
yeah, I was thinking about this like a couple hours ago, because Vice, they did a report on the 17-year-old that killed 2 people in Wisconsin. And I think they called him a vigilante in the headline instead of a killer.
A murderer.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about how it's sort of like the media is like softening, and they're supposed to be like, I say that because they're supposed to be like a liberal like media.
Right.
And the liberal media is like softening, and it's funny because like at the same time at the Republican National Convention, they're going harder than ever to go against everything, while what's supposedly supposed to be the people that speak for us, the people that's on our side, they're softening. They're afraid to tell the truth, basically.
They're afraid to tell the truth because they don't want to lose the votes. They don't want to make it seem like their precious Caucasians are not perfect like they make them seem to be. They want to keep the narrative that black people are horrible and white people are good. And if a white person does something wrong, they just made an accident. Oh, they just accidentally shot 9 people.
And I also think from the media side of it, it's also that publications that want to be respected, they want to feel like they're not completely too much on one side. But that's why, like, the first line of the song says, "My right to live is in politics," because there's certain issues that you can't be on the fence about this.
Right. It's either you're with me or you're against me.
Yeah, it's not something to be in the middle about at all.
Definitely not. Okay, what's the next line? Confederate flag flying as a reminder that it's only about the slaves. I see them up in Ohio. Now, I know that Ohio wasn't a Confederate state. Was Ohio a state that they went through? Yes. But I see a lot of Confederate flags. Ohio is a big, huge swing state. Oh my goodness. Oh, because you're also in Elyria, so you probably see a lot more because it's more like not city versus Cleveland. Yeah,
sort of. It's kind of like an in-between city where it's like, because Elyria is sort of like the hub for the county. But I especially wanted to, I guess I specifically said I see him up in Ohio just to make the point that I don't live in the South, so it's not what should be expected.
Gotcha.
And it only exists as a symbol of racism, of evil. So yeah.
Right. And then have you ever seen any videos on Twitter or like Facebook? I haven't really seen too many of these videos on Instagram, but I more so see them on Twitter and Facebook where like white people can't even tell you the heritage. And they're like, oh, it's my heritage. Okay, what's the heritage? Slave owners? What heritage are you representing? Because
you can't defend the indefensible.
If you see any videos, I'm gonna try to find some videos to add it to this clip. Yeah. Anytime there's a white person defending the Confederate flag, they never have a good answer. Like every video I've seen, there's always they don't know what to say. Like they never know what to say. Right? Like they don't even know what their what's the word I'm looking for? They don't even know what they're defending. They're just like, it's my heritage. So they probably saw their grandma or their grandfather have a Confederate flag and they're like, oh, I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna just, put it on the back of my car. Like,
I won't even.
It's exactly what it is. It's crazy. These people are nuts, literally nuts. I have a love-hate relationship with the fact that this song is kind of short.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that long. And it's like,
yeah.
I want more, but it's kind of like, you didn't need to say no more. You said everything you need to say.
Yeah, it's kind of short on purpose. I had a conversation with like a blogger about that because he was telling me basically that he felt like I should have did a second verse to flesh out the ideas, but I really I didn't make the song to explain myself. So everything I'm saying is like every line is just a statement. And
Correct.
it's like that on purpose. Yeah, it's like that just so you can get the verse and then you can get the hook where, you know, it's the emotion attached to it. But that's, yeah, it's right there.
It's right there. And then I love how you, I went off topic of the lyrics, but I love how you had the photo, like, of, what was it? The rioting, like, not the rioting, but, you know, like a fire, and it's like,
Yeah, for the cover.
for the cover. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked that. I liked how it was, you know, you see it and you think of, you know, rioting, like, we're tired of this, you know,
Yeah.
but it's not like violent, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the great Jack Raybuck from Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh
Who
yeah,
designed that.
he did a great job. Did he design the lyric sheet too?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did a
Yeah,
good job with that. Yeah, that was
he's
good.
great.
I like how I'm a person who likes to read lyrics. Like, when I hear a song, the first couple times I listen to it, I really don't fully get the full, you know, the full grasp of the song. Because
Yeah.
I think it's because I probably can't hear. But I like to read lyrics. So when artists have lyric lists, lyric sheets, I don't know what they're called,
Yeah.
they're available to read, it makes it feel like I can connect with the song more. So I really was very happy that that was available.
Yeah, that was Jack that thought of that to really just put it right there.
Put it right there. You need to see. And then, like, when I was reading them and going through my thoughts and sorting my thoughts out for this video, when I was reading, I'm like, it kind of feels like a poem a little bit.
Mm.
Like, you could do it kind of like as a spoken word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know if you ever thought of that, but you can
Yeah.
use the idea if you like. But we're almost done trying to chase my dreams while I'm trying to chase survival. Oh, no. I skipped a line. Everywhere that I go, living with the fact that I'm public enemy number one or American Idol.
Yeah.
What? That goes back to, you know, man, I hate it because a rapper, either I'm amazing, the greatest thing you ever seen in your life, and they love us, or they absolutely hate us. Like, it's no in between. Like,
yeah, there's a fetishism and there's a deep
absolutely.
hatred for Black people at the same time. And I definitely wanted to talk about that, as well as talking about like being an artist that isn't really a capitalist and is trying to make it in a capitalist society and like become a success story. But at the same time, like, and literally just like looking over my shoulder, driving up the street. Like, every time a cop gets behind me, like, I'm taking a detour every single time. Like, I just don't know what kind of day they're having and what they've been thinking about and what they might do to me. And I think about that a lot. Sort of like the selfishness in how we all live our own lives and how we affect other people's lives, and how the police really have the opportunity to make a decision to end your life for no reason.
Right.
Like, it's extreme. It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. I mean, I do it all the time too. I love that you said that, because if a police officer gets behind me, I'm turning into the first place I can turn. I'm turning.
Yeah. Get
from behind me, please. Thank you.
Yeah. So and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. Like, just when you, I don't even have to say the name, but when you look at like the big famous white women with the features that are obviously taken and inspired by Black women, and you look at all the rappers that are put on a pedestal and the athletes and stuff like that, it's like, clearly America has, you know, it's not a love though. It's not a love. It's,
like you said, it's a fetish.
Yeah, it's a fetish for Black people.
It's a fetish for Black people.
It's an appreciation for Black people's gifts and talents, but not a value on Black people's livelihood.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep. Trying to chase my dreams while I'm trying to chase survival. And that's fact. We're all, any Black person alive, actually, And it's so sad that a lot of people get complacent because it's so difficult to make it from where we start out at. Most of us don't start out with huge savings accounts and families that can, help us get to where we want to go, and families that can, help our dreams become true. Most of us are starting from zero, from ground zero, and living in a world where we have to actually, day to day, actively try to not die, try to not get killed, try to not get caught up in some extra bullshit, because, like you said, you don't know what type of day these cops may be having.
Yeah,
they might be having a terrible day and like, hey, let me ruin somebody's life today. Let me pull over the first black person I see. Let me terrorize the first black person I see. And it's like, honey, this whole system is just traffic. Throw the whole system away. Throw the whole system away. So I'm riding with a microphone, a bullet in the Bible. That's just facts.
Yeah, and that sort of does. I feel like I took that line as like a personal thing, but I also took that as a line that just I'll use that to represent, the gun as protecting yourself, and also like a lot of black people love guns, and obviously what black people do with microphones, and also black people's deep relationship with religion.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
but that's sometimes that's all we have.
Absolutely.
Like this.
And also, just because it necessarily, you feel like it relates to you with the microphone part, but I mean, you can relate that to anything. I ride around with, a camera, a tripod, my laptop. These are just, a book, my journal that I write all my ideas in. All that microphone could literally be interchanged with anything that you are using as a tool to help you, catapult into, success. So
yeah, facts.
And the bullet, like you said, the bullet, black people love guns. But I mean, it's not that we love guns because we like to play with them. We just, want to protect ourselves. So yeah. I totally, honey, I definitely understand it. Judge, jury, executioner without trial. They do all three. Judge, jury, executioner, right there. Boop, you're dead. You made me mad. Boop, you're dead. Like, what? Crazy. Fearing for my life, fearing a good cop that I know. And then, but then this is the thing. Fearing for my life, fearing a good cop that I know. You point me to a man that can work inside a racist organization without changing it. You're showing me a psycho. Now, I would say that I know good cops, but then you go to the next line that can work inside a racist organization without changing it. There's good cops that I know, been known forever, and they are actively in the community, actively helping people, actively trying to make it better, because even if we defund police totally, you still need someone. So I don't think there ever would be no police at all. Like, at all. Do you think that could you ever see a world where there's no police officers?
I support the idea of abolishing the police.
For 1,000%, no police at all.
Yes, and that line, the point of that line is to say that I don't doubt that there are good people that might have the job of being a cop and they try to do their best. I'm not refuting that. I'm refuting the idea that the system allows good cops to exist and to exist as completely good, basically. Because we see so many stories of the good cop that sees the bad situation and reports it and gets demoted and fired. So they literally don't encourage like justness within the system. So I definitely believe in the idea of abolishing the police. And I feel like when it comes to like defunding the police, when you look at the budgets for a lot of police in a lot of cities, Yeah, it's so inflated, and then you wonder why certain situations happen where the police are supposedly needed. It's because there's no funding for anything else.
Anything else?
So that like this, everybody is working and then getting some taxes taken out of their check so they can get killed, basically.
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah, I believe in abolishing the police.
I don't know if I believe in fully abolishing them. I'm open to the discussion of abolishing police, but as far as fully taking them away, I don't know if I believe in that. I don't know if I could fathom a world where there were no police officers at all. I don't know if I could fathom it.
I mean, it's hard to believe in something you've never seen before.
But what
it takes faith. Yeah, also that at the same time. So and
that last line was like, these are just my opinions. But what do I know? But these are some strong opinions that I would say I agree with for sure. Where do you think your biggest growth has been as far as music?
Probably I would say probably my voice, my vocal delivery on songs. Like people that might have heard my EP that came out in 2017 called Outlier and are hearing like the album in a couple months, they'll definitely like see the difference in how comfortable I am with my voice, how I've learned how to manipulate my voice. Like from PSA coming out, it's been like several people that asked me, okay, the verse was dope, who's singing on the song and who's like the sample at the end? And it's all my voice. I'm just using my voice in different ways. I'm singing in different ways, rapping in different ways, and I'm mixing the whole album myself. And I really enjoy like creative mixing and just manipulation with vocals and stuff like that. So it's a lot of that on the album.
So you enjoyed the whole process. So walk me through a song making process by Will Cherry. What is your creative process like? Usually
I'll get a loop, like a 4-bar loop or a sample or some chords. And I did this with PSA. I do this with most of my songs, especially over like the last year or two. I'll just record to the metronome and just like whatever chords or sample or whatever. So I have maybe like a melody and the chord progression, and I record the entire song. And then I make the beat to the song after the vocals are already done. And I mix the song and make the beat at the same time. And then like I'll just sit with the song for months and just do mix after mix after mix. Like as I've gotten better over the last couple of years, I've done less mixes on songs, but most of the songs on the album have at least over 15 mixes, 15, 20. Yeah.
About the music making process. So I don't even know what even is a mix. I don't even know what that is.
The mix is just like the effects you hear on the vocals and the effects on the beat and stuff like that. And when I go in and like mix a song, I'm usually like re-recording stuff, moving stuff around, rearranging stuff, and just figuring out what makes the most sense for the album, or for the song. The album as it stands right now, I think it's gonna be like 33 minutes when it comes out, but it was like 41 minutes. I didn't cut any songs, but it was just me going back to the mixes, like, how can we get this down to the essential parts of what's most important? Like, most of the songs don't have, like, the 30-second, like, beat just happening in the song. Like, I'm just going straight into it because I want to really give people my perspective, give people my thoughts. Yeah, give it, like, straight as soon as you press play.
Straight as soon as you press play.
So there's no slack on it. And that mixing it so many times is sort of what got me to the point of like, okay, let me get straight to it. Yeah.
So, if you weren't focused on music, what do you think you would be doing? If you weren't doing music. If you weren't focused on music.
If I wasn't focused on music as an artist, I would be focused on music as a journalist. Like about 5 years ago, I was starting college and I went to college for journalism, and I was working with like a couple different, like local, actually not even just local, but a few different publications and blogs and stuff like that, writing for him. And I just didn't have that inspiration as an artist to be an artist at the time. So I was instead like taking what I knew and what I loved about music and using that to write about other people's music and analyze music and stuff like that. So I'll probably be doing that. And if it had hit me enough time before, I probably would have went to film school instead of that. Yeah.
I mean, you can always go to film school.
Yeah, I want to eventually, yeah.
I think that would be cool. What film school would you go to?
Probably CSU. That's where a few of my friends went to. And they have like a great camaraderie, like Greg, who you met, and some other guys I've met through him. They all went to CSU together. And like I worked on a short film with him recently, just working for him, watching him direct and stuff like that. And it's really like a really cool, it's not like a literal fraternity, but like just watching them fraternize as guys that went to school for this very specific thing and understand the ins and outs. And like I've sent him like different screenplays I've been working on for short films for the album and stuff like that. And he's giving me like tips and just, there's a lot of information you can get by going to film school that I would like to get. Because I do want to be like a full-on film director.
Full-on film director.
Yeah.
I like how that sounds. That sounds good. That sounds great. That sounds amazing. I love working on film projects too. Like working behind the scenes on film is so fun. Like so fun. Being on set.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a director's assistant. Like kind of help with all the back end stuff. Yeah. Not have anything to do with recording anything, but it's really fun. I feel you on that because I like that too.
It's a beautiful thing.
Well, how do you feel the internet has affected I have music industry down, but I want to say the whole entertainment industry as a whole. Like, how do you feel the internet has impacted the whole entertainment industry?
Within like what amount of time?
I would say just within the last, maybe let's say 20 years. Because the internet, how old is the internet? I remember going from dial-up internet. I remember getting dial-up internet.
Yeah.
And then I remember getting high-speed internet, and that changed the game. So I would say since the internet started, because the internet, how old is the internet? Maybe.
I think the internet was started in like the 70s, but it popularized in like the 90s.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I'm like, it wasn't that widespread.
Yeah, it wasn't in everybody's house until the 90s. Right.
So how do you think the internet in the 90s, starting the internet in the 90s, changed the entertainment world?
Well, for music, just from like a historical standpoint of what I've seen, it sort of ruined music, the sale of music. It ruined, the production and sale of music, like the money aspect of it. Because looking at like just the 90s with music, I think of Metallica versus Napster, with Napster having all of like everybody's music online for free. And that just sort of opened people's minds up to the idea that, hey, we can like get music off of the internet, and it sort of devalued it a little bit. And that starts the moment where albums stop going diamond as often and sales start to slowly go down until we get to the point now where a CD is a rarity. Like me wanting to do CDs for my album is like a novelty thing as opposed to the standard. I
cannot wait to get a wheelchair CD. I'm gonna bump that CD. I know it's so crazy. A lot of cars don't even have CD players anymore.
Yeah.
Like 2020s, I work at a car dealership. 2020 vehicles don't have CD players.
Yeah.
19 vehicles don't have CD. Like, what? I need whatever car I end up having, whatever car I get as my next car, it has to have a CD player. Because I love to listen to me a good CD. Like, just taking in the whole project, sitting with the project, knowing the song start to finish, the transition between this song to this song, knowing the project start.
And the stuff that it won't be available on streaming, like just literally holding a CD in your hand, looking through the booklet. Like there's a lot of value to that.
No,
music fans for
I'm
sure.
right here with you. I'm right here with you because I love CDs. I cannot wait to purchase your album and have it and look at it. And I love the album artwork for the album too. How did that come? I know that that's not out, but how did that come to be? Where did that come from? Who?
That was designed by Tyshawn. Like I guess his artist name is just Sean Rosewood. He's from Indianapolis, Indiana, and actually his brother Taiwan produced on the first song too. He has a twin brother named Taiwan who's a producer.
Oh wow! I'm over here laughing because my cat just jumped up on the bed.
But yeah, it was like a sort of a long process talking to him. Like I had a few ideas and he had some ideas, but the main thing was I just wanted a cover that you saw it and you wanted to look at it again, because that's how I feel about a lot of my favorite album covers. So I did that photo shoot with my guy David McCluskey. He's from Elyria too, and we shot that on film on 35 millimeter Kodak Gold, and I just really wanted something that you want to look at and something that'll stand the test of time. And there's like little things that on the cover, as you listen to the album, it makes sense to the cover as well. I don't want to say fully, like I can't give it away, but yeah, I love it too. I love it too.
It's funny that you say you wanted something that you can go back and look at, because I feel the same way. I sometimes go to the link and just I look at the cover, and I love how you write the type. I know a lot of people do it like that, but I love how everything is so clean and just.
Well, thank you.
I just love it. So I don't really have any more questions. I don't really have any more questions. So that was it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you for being here.
I appreciate you interviewing me. That was really cool.
You could have been anywhere. You could have been doing anything in this moment, right now. You could have spent, how long have we been recording? You could have spent this hour, 45 minutes. You could have spent this 45 minutes doing anything, but you spent it interviewing with me. So I'm very appreciative of the time. I'm so appreciative to know you and be able to be early and see the growth of Will Cherry, because I already know your growth and your career is just going to be astronomical and amazing and wonderful and phenomenal. And I'm just excited for it. I'm just so overjoyed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just, the music is just, you really can't deny it. You can't deny it. It's good music, and good music is always gonna prevail. So no gimmicks. It's good music.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Like, comment, share this with any music lovers. Share this with somebody who is so fed up with how the world is treating us. Share this with your mama. Share it with your brother. Share it with your coworkers. Stop killing us. Stop killing us. My right to live is in politics. It's not okay. We gonna talk about it. And this is the beginning of a revolution. It's the beginning of a new change. It's the beginning of all that. So I'm just so happy to be here and to talk about it, to have free will to talk about it, to be able to bring this type of content to you guys, because like I said, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun on this channel. We're gonna have fun, but we gotta talk about the real stuff too. So thank you guys for being here. I'll talk to y'all later. I love you guys so much.